Hello, my name is Eric. I'd like to show you today how to replace drum brakes on a Corolla 2005. It's the first time I've done this. I have to admit I was a little bit intimidated to do rear drum brakes, but I was surprised to see just how easy it is, and I hope this video helps you to do them yourself. Going from left to right, what you'll need for this job, you'll need some brake grease on the far left. You'll need some long nose needles. You'll need that red tool that helps you to put the pin in and out. We'll see that later. You'll need a small file or a piece of sandpaper and a metal brush. What's not here and what you'll need is some brake cleaner. The first thing you'll need to do is to clean the brakes with some brake cleaner. You should not use compressed air, as the little particles that the compressed air blows out are very bad for your health. I also recommend that you take pictures of each side of your brakes, and I have to admit that I had to refer to the pictures a few times. So it's a very, very good tool. Here's another picture that I took, and I found this quite useful throughout. There's essentially three springs you need to remove. There's the bottom one with the pink arrow. There's the obvious one to the top. But if you look closely where the blue arrow points, there's one behind, and you can just see the little pin that protrudes through the hole that's pointed by the green arrow. So the first thing I did is I removed the spring that's pointed by the blue arrow, and I also removed the two pins. One of them is pointed to by the red or pink arrow. Here's the tool I was referring to remove the pins. The tool cost me about $8, and as you see, it's very useful. Makes the job very easy. So essentially all you do is put the tool by the pin, push on it, and turn. You might have to put your hand behind the brakes there to make sure the pin isn't turning. And then I removed the spring at the bottom, which is now removed, as you can see. Once you've removed those springs, you can take the shoes out. You'll still have to take the top spring, the one that's behind, but it's quite easy to remove the two shoes with that spring still there, and it'll either pop out or you can take it out. When you're taking the shoes out, the one of the shoes is going to stay tied by the handbrake, and that's what you're seeing here. The blue arrow points to a little clip that you need to remove. I removed it with a screwdriver, then with a pair of vice grips to tear it off. And here is the handbrake mechanism with the pin off and the shoe removed from the handbrake mechanism. Now what I like to do is to set all the parts on a piece of cloth, and I put them in the same general area where they are, and it makes it easier to put it back together. But once again, I've also got the pictures that I took, but I find that this still helps. You'll find that there are 6 little plates, 3 on either side, where the shoes rest, and there's often little grooves that have been grinded in there. So I use a little file like this, but a sandpaper will do also, just to make it smooth. And when I've made them smooth, I'm going to apply a little bit of brake grease. You can see 2 of those little plates with the pink arrows. There's 3 in total on either side, so I put a little layer of brake grease because the shoes need to be able to move on those plates. Now we're ready to put the shoes back. Here you see the parts that I purchased, the springs and whatnot that I purchased when I bought the shoes. They are purchased separately. They cost me about $21 for that set. The rear brakes had never been done on my 2005, so all the springs and the hardware was pretty rusted. My first step is to replace the clip on the handbrake mechanism. The original clip was so damaged I couldn't have put it back. There's 2 little clips in the hardware package that I purchased. I just slip it back on, and and then just use the needle pliers to make them tight. So here I have replaced, I've put the new shoes back in place. I started with the one on the left with the parking brake on it. I started by hooking the spring that you can see with the pink arrow, and I inserted the other end of the spring into the shoes on the right. It's a little bit tricky to insert the spread bar that you can see with the green arrow, but you just got to play around. You just have to play around, with it. I also have to tell you that I cleaned out the spreading bar. I put a little bit of anti-seize compound, and I screwed it in completely to make it easier to put the shoes back in. Here you'll notice I put the new pins in. I forgot to put an arrow to show it, but if you look at the 9 o'clock position and the 3 o'clock position, you'll see them in place. And I'll use my neat little tool to be able to put the fasteners back on. And what that does is it essentially avoids that the shoes move out of place. Here you can see I've replaced both pins and both plates. In the green box you can see I've put the auto adjusting plate back in its spot. It's hooked in to the adjuster bar, and I think you can see that in the picture. In the pink arrow is where my spring is going to fit in. And here is the spring put back into its spot. I'm replacing the bottom spring, and you can see exactly where it's going. You also want to make sure that the bottom of the shoes are in their proper spot. So we're almost finished, but not quite. If you look at the pink circle, you'll see a little screwdriver there the end of a screwdriver that I've inserted from behind the plate. There's a little rubber plug there that you remove. That's how you adjust the shoes. So you can start to adjust them from this side of the brake, but at one point you're going to have to put the drums back on, and the only way to adjust them is from the rear. You adjust them until you can feel and hear a little bit of friction as you turn the drum. Now the other point I need to draw your attention on that's very important is that the blue arrow points to a piece of metal, and there's one on either side of that caliper. When you push on the brake pedal, those metal parts come out, they push on the shoes, and that's how you brake. When I shifted them back and forth, when I removed the shoes and put the new ones on, I think a little bit of air got into my brake line, because when I used the brakes, when I applied pressure on it, I could feel the brakes were a little bit spongy. So what I did is that I got a partner, and I bled the brake line, which is very easy. It took about 5 minutes to do. That's it. I hope this video helps. Don't hesitate to leave a comment. By the way, the job cost me about $140 Canadian to do, and if I had it done at a place like Midas, it would have cost me about $273. Thank you very much. Have a good